Hello and welcome, little scientists, to this week's episode of Stay at Home Science, brought to you by the South Brunswick Public Library. I'm Allyee, and today we'll be trying out the classic Skittles Experiment. Let's get started. First, we need to gather our supplies. We'll be needing 3 plates or bowls, preferably white, Skittles, and 3 temperatures of water: room temperature, hot, and cold. And as always, don't forget to grab a grown-up. For this experiment, we're trying to see if we can dissolve the sugar and food dye off of these Skittles using only water. We're testing 3 temperatures of water to see which can dissolve the fastest: room temperature, hot, or cold. What do you think? You can also use any other similarly candy-coated sweets like M&Ms or gumdrops. To get started, we'll open up our Skittles and distribute them among the 3 plates. What's great about this experiment is that you can play around with the designs you do on the plates. So once you have all 3 plates with your Skittles, and you can do it any kind of pattern you like, you can use as many or as little Skittles as you like. You just want to make sure they're towards the top of the plate. Once you're done with that, you're going to get your 3 temperatures of water ready. So, like I said, we're going to be using room temperature. That's going to be our first, and then we'll be doing hot and cold at the same time. So, we'll do our room temperature, and then make sure to start getting your hot water and your cold water ready. For the warm water, ask a grown-up if they can warm some on the stove or in the microwave. And for the cold water, if you have ice cubes, it's a great way to get your water cold really fast. Next, we're going to start off our experiment. The first one I'm going to do is this one that I've made into a rainbow. Let's switch up the angle so you guys can get a closer look. So, we switched up our angle and gave you guys a closer look at the Skittles. Next, we're going to take our room temperature water and pour it in the middle of the plate just until the water covers the Skittles. So don't add too much water. You want enough water to cover the Skittles. Wow, we can already see a reaction. What's happening is that Skittles are made mostly of sugar and food coloring. These 2 items are sensitive to dissolving when mixed with water or other liquids. This is why we see such a burst of color. Over time, this color spreads out. This is through diffusion. Diffusion causes the dye to spread through the water from an area of high dye concentration, which is near the candy, to an area of low dye concentration, which is the water. This is also helped through gravity. Since the sugar water is denser than the water itself, it moves towards the lowest portion of the plate quickly. But why don't the colors mix together? Well, there's actually 2 different scientific thoughts behind this. The first theory is water stratification. This is the idea that each color of Skittle has a slightly different chemical makeup, which, when dissolved, creates a water solution that has a slightly different properties, such as density and oxygenation. This creates a barrier that prevents the water from mixing. The second theory is called concentration gradient. This works with the idea of diffusion. This theory believes that each Skittle has the same concentration or the same amount of ingredients in each piece. So, when they meet, one color doesn't have more sugar or dye than another, which then means there's no diffusion taking place between the colors. There's no flow from an area of high concentration color to an area of low concentration color, which means no color transfer. What do you little scientists think is happening? Is it water stratification, concentration gradient, a mix of both, or something different? Comment on our Facebook page and let us know. Alright, little scientists, now that we've completed our first experiment with the warm water, let's move on to our cold and hot water. So we just tested out our experiment with the room temperature water, and now we're moving on to hot water, which is in this cup, and very cold water, which is in this cup. So, as I said before, with the hot water, Just be careful and ask a grown-up for help. Okay, so we're gonna try to do them at the same time. Remember, starting from the middle and then pouring just enough water to cover. And as always, be very careful when dealing with cold or hot water. Alright, little scientists, so what do you guys think? Was the hot water, cold water, or room temperature water the fastest? Alright, little scientists, thanks so much for joining me on this episode of Stay at Home Science. I hope you guys had fun trying out the classic Skittles experiment. If you do this at home, please send us a picture or a video. We'd love to see how yours turns out. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and follow us on our South Brunswick Public Library's Facebook page for even more fun content. Until next time, bye!